Good morning, family. I trust you all had a good night's rest. If I'm loud and clear, can you indicate in the chat box if I'm loud and clear? Can you indicate in the chat box? Loud and clear. Can you indicate in the chat box? All right. Good morning. Good morning to you. I see you, Sam Ageless. Okay. So for today, we'll be looking at chart patterns, double tops, um, head and shoulders, how to spot all of these, how to take advantage of them, um, how the market move, basically, right? How to or what to expect, yeah, after the opening, right? So if you look at this, these are um, candle bars. These are bars, basically, not candles, right? The market does this every single day. It's that simple, right? The main thing is to now know where the market is headed and what to expect. We always see something like this. This is called it's either this or this open um, close, open, close. This is called I, I, I don't know why I'm spelling the name, but here's the thing. For every single day a candle opens, right? The market tends to go the opposite way first before going the exact way the market is meant to go for for that particular day, right? And before it closes, of course, towards um for any session, basically, right? Towards the end of the day, the market tends to pull back a little, right? Then I'll close. I'll use for today, I'll use Dow Jones for an example, right? I use Dow Jones for example. Just these are things, if you get to see them, just expect it, right? Towards the end of the day, the market tends to do a little pullback, right? So just in case you're holding trades, just expect this to happen, right? And when you observe the opening at 12 midnight, 12 midnight of that particular session, right? This is, let's say you are looking at, I will always like to make emphasis on the sessions, right? So let's say you're focusing on New York session. You're focusing on New York session. Let's say you decided to focus on New York section right now. Dow Jones is traded during the New York session, right? So perhaps you might just change your time zone to that of New York to get it. So for the next few minutes, let's just assume, right? You're working with the New York session. Afterwards, I'll go back to normal African time, which is the same with London session anyway. All right. So the market opened, of course, Um, our 6 a.m. is their midnight, right? So let me go back to candles. Let me go down to 1 hour time frame. Who is it? Who is also midnight? All right. Market open at this particular time. Oh, I don't have this thing. Um, mm, Market open at this particular time, right? 12, 12 midnight. Then by 9:30, this is 9:30 by the way. 9:30, 8:30. That's the time. By 9:30, right? This is 9:30. This is the time, right? By 9:30, which is our 2:30, right? Pulled up, came back. So I'm just going to show us something about this. Let me just have this here. So the market opened here, right? But before this, you must have, right? Before this, you must have checked the daily time frame to know your bias for the day, right? And I think I've mentioned this in one of the sessions, right? To know your bias, the bias for the day actually guides you of what to expect for that particular day, right? Your bias for the day is the market trending upwards for today, or is it going down, right? If you get that, then you can now wait for this. The market opened here, and if you know the market is going up, you should expect it to trend below the opening, the midnight opening, right? You should expect it to trend below it. And if, of course, um, the opening of like the main time, right? Like the 9:30 or our 2:30 time, if the market opened at a particular price and trended below as well, that's like a double confirmation. That is just it, right? That is just it. So it did this, which is like a clear confirmation to say, okay, yeah, this guy is going to trend up, right? Me personally, for yesterday, I was actually targeting this, like I showed you guys, fair value gap, right? I was actually targeting this. All right. So let me take this guy off now. I don't know if you're getting this, but I hope you do. Right. I was actually targeting this fair value gap, which it was so clear. Let me now go down to 15 minutes time frame. All right. So this is what the market did. By 9:30, it opened at this particular price, 260. That's 45 260. All right. Pulled way below, went down to 163. This is like it pushed down 100 points, or in pips, went down 100 pips in less than 15 minutes. So this is like a clear confirmation to actually go in. Perhaps you just want to wait, right? You traded up, came back again to confirm, like what I said, the market is going to trend up for that particular day. It's going to pull back the opposite way before moving, right? It came back down to around 197 or 200. Another possible 60 something or some something points or pips below the opening, the official market opening, aside from the midnight opening, right? This is another confirmation. Boom. This is actually a good time to enter this trade. Could you believe I saw this happening and I didn't take the trade, or just watching it? In fact, I messed up here. In fact, I messed up. In fact, I just did literally the opposite thing when I was looking at the chart yesterday, right? But then, follow me. It's crazy because I have a way to trade my indices, right? I have, but however, so in line with what we are showing today or what we have for today, being able to spot double tops, double bottoms in any time frame, right? So looking at this is like a clear double bottom. The market rejected at the same price. And if you even check it, apart from the double bottom here, this is also a clear support area, which, of course, the first one has balanced out whatever, of course, taking loose of liquidity that have been lying below here. The market will do that. The market must do that, right? The second, which didn't actually get here, is a confirmation that, okay, this guy is actually trending up, right? I would have said this is a bullish engulfing candle, but it is not really. It is not really. And of course, what do you expect? The market got into that fair value gap. Of course, if I said to just take the trade here at this point, right, I would have gotten, if my TP is just the tip of this fair value gap, that would have been from here to here. This is like 200, 356. This is like 156 pips with 0.1 lot size, depending on your broker. This is $156 soft and clean, right? If you're going with a less riskier approach, this is like roughly $70, right? On the move. And it's ready to rally. This is roughly 100 pips, the total move till your market closed, right? So what I'm saying in essence is if you get to understand the move of the market, right, you're able to take advantage of all of this. What happened to me yesterday was that I really forgot what I was waiting for. In fact, I started considering, sometimes we get to question ourselves in the market as well. I started considering when this move happened, I was like, this market trying to, you can see this here. This is a fair value gap looking at me. Is the market trying to come in here? You see, I drew this line, hoping it's going to come in. This might be my best entry point, but it didn't actually come down here. This same move happened. I'm like, is this trying to come down again? It does happen. Sometimes you get to question yourself, right? But to avoid that, always hold on to, the higher time frames are way stronger. Whatever you see on the higher time frame pose a stronger impression on the market than what you're seeing on the lower time frame. So what you're going to use the lower time frames for is just to confirm, align with whatever you're seeing on the higher time frame, right? So let this make sense now. What happened here? Boom, clear. It just pulled up to respect this high here as well, right? So if I have stayed in the market, I would have actually made good money yesterday regardless. Okay, it came in here. This is another double top right here. So looking at the market now, what am I expecting for today for US stats? Am I expecting a possible sell or buy? Looking at it, I am seeing a wide imbalance here. This is like, if I'm to extend this, I'm expecting the market to tap into this area. Even if this guy is going to buy next week, I'll expect it to tap into this area. If not today, at least by Monday or Tuesday. Of course, today is NFP. It will definitely, perhaps, maybe, get into this zone. If it doesn't get here this week, which is Friday, it might do that next week. Because it can't just leave this area and start flying up. Right? So first of all, my bias now is like, okay, I'm expecting a sell, a short for today. Right? I go down to my 15 minutes time frame. The market, where's my 12, 12, 12 a.m. All right. I see that the market opened here. I see my market opened at this price for my midnight at 626. I'm like, okay, nice. So if I am expecting a short for today, what do I think this guy is going to do or the market is going to do? It's all right. I expect it to trend. I expect it to trend up before coming down here. Do you get it? Just to give me that, remember what I showed you? Just to give me um, that stuff I drew earlier. The open, this is called something. I don't know why I'm not getting the exact name for it. The open, this is what I want today to end like. The supply distribution, I don't know. This is what I want today to end like. If I check my bars, right? This is what I want today to end like. Let me clear this out. Let me check the 4 hours time frame. Today just started. Let me check the daily. Okay. The market open here basically is going up. All right. So that's it. That's it about that. All right. That's it about that. I don't want to emphasize much on that. All right. So first off, like I said, is to check your daily bias. Okay, let's check on down. Okay. Mm, I think I showed us this guy yesterday, right? As of 6 a.m. yesterday, it was around uh, 6 a.m. yesterday. Like as of 6 a.m. yesterday, it was around here. It was around this area 6 a.m. yesterday, right? And of course, it kept moving. I still expect it to hit here. Though I've taken my profits since, so yeah, I couldn't I couldn't I showed us something. Okay. This is I'm mixing so many things together now. Here's something here's something, right? You need to know if you are in a trending market, right? If you're in a trending market and you don't want to aim much. Look, this is a general downtrend, right? This is a general trend downtrend. I am taking it what I'm taking here is a counter trend trade, right? Counter trend trade. I sat on, that moment you have the market dancing around your SL zone for like the longest time. My entry here is good, but my second entry and my third entry was crazy, man. My third entry was around here, 635. So I had the market playing around, I had the market going down like almost 100 points, right? Below my entry, 100 pips. So the hit was crazy for me yesterday, right? So I have this thing or a way, right, to not overshoot. I know I'm mixing so many things all together, but just know this. It's gonna help, perhaps. This is a Fibonacci retracement tool. Let's say you are trading a counter trend trade, you want to risk it. It's not really the best to take, but you want to take it, right? The market would most times hit the 50% retracement, right? And you can comfortably take your profit at that 50% retracement. That's what I did yesterday. My main target was this. right? This support zone to do a clear break and retest. But then after the hit I felt yesterday or day before yesterday, right? Mainly got at 784, took my profit. That's like roughly whatever 200 plus points or 200 plus pips, whatever the case is, right? Now, once it gets here, like I said, this is a downtrend, right? Once it gets to this mark that I'm looking at, and I want to continue taking the sell, right? This is what I'm gonna do. I want to continue taking the sell. I have my mark here. I pick the lowest point that gave rise to this move. I can either, you can see my mark is here. This is like 50, 100. I can either target 100% of the move, which is exactly where this point started, or I add extra 50%. And most times, I tell you, most times it hits even minus 100. On a bigger level, it gets to minus 150, right? These are, just have this. Watch the market on any time frame, you're seeing a good trend. Watch this, right? You are now, what you are doing here now is, sometimes is you don't just know where to target, right? Apart from having your um risks to reward 1 to 4 and all that. Sometimes you want to have a target area. Okay, where am I expecting this market to get to? You have that. Then mitigate your risk with what you're targeting. Right? It might take you time, depending on the time frame you're looking at. But is it going to get there? Perhaps. But it would. The main thing is we are also against of the market. You watch it. If it doesn't, okay, why didn't it get here? All right? Or why did it get here? Or why did it exceed what I'm looking at? Let's check history to see. Let me check. Let me look at gold. Um, this is an uptrend, right? This is an uptrend. Of course, the market got here, pulled back, right? And you don't know, where can this guy get to, right? Let's say you're able to get this point. Um, let's do this together. This is how you back test, right? Just look at the market, just look at it. Yeah. So let me see. The same thing. I'll take this highest point. Okay. In this particular case, you didn't get to the 50% area before going up. Fine, cool. All right. Let's say you're in here waiting for it to get here. Perhaps it didn't even get here. It didn't even get to this point. This is 1 hour time frame. Like, oh damn, I missed this trade. Let's just say you missed it. All right. The next, you decided to work with this guy. This high and this low. In this case, so remember, I said something earlier yesterday, right? Whatever you're working with, it is not a strategy on its own. Let's say now I now told you, okay, Fibonacci this, you're like, you know what? Any 50% I jump in, right? In this case, right, it got below the 50 area. In fact, very close to the 100 before going, right? So in essence, what I'm trying to say is if you are the Fibonacci, right? Be it in fact, it's supposed to be this way. The 100% should be up and 10% below, right? If you're looking for, just know this here, it doesn't mean you should bank on Fibonacci's all the time, right? If you're looking for buys, right? I call this areas, I said this in yesterday, areas below the 50% of discount zones, right? If you're doing your analysis, the market comes into this area, you are like, nice. The market is within my buy zone. All I need to do now is to now do a top-down analysis and get the best entry in this area to target wherever you want to target, right? If you're looking for sales, if you're looking for sales, any area above the 50% is your kill zone, right? It's your kill zone. This is, I call this like the premium area, right? You want to sell at the premium price. You don't want to sell, let's say you have you have you have a device or whatever for like 1 million, or let's say you have a land. You don't want to sell your land, a plot that you can sell for, let's say, 50 million, and you sell it for 5. No. You love the price to get to 15 million and you sell. If you want to buy, I want to see a land. Okay, if it's possible to get that 500K sell, you get it. If the land is worth it anyway. So that's just the idea of the market. If you get this, it will also model your entries. Like I said, double bottom, double tops. You can see them on any time frame. What am I seeing here? Clear. Boom. You go in. But I'm trying to create or show us something here. This should be that stuff, right? I just want to show us something, right? This is a trend. Market pushed from here to here. Oh, no. I'm missing out. Wasn't it on this? Okay. Now this is a pullback, right? This is a pullback. You target this pullback. Now what I'm gonna do, right? Since I know this market is trending up, I target this pullback. I said the market sold from here to here. Since the market sold from here to here, of course, you already did the first one, and of course, it's below the 50 area. Since the market sold from here to here, what am I targeting from this particular point? Am I just targeting the 100% of the trend of the pullback or 50? In this case, it hits way beyond 157, right? Let's say you're targeting 50% or 100. You would have actually made a good profit, right? And I've been saying so many things here. Now, these are everything you pay with what you're looking at. If you see that nice candle pattern, right? Double top, whatever the case is, align it. In fact, that is how I was able to get this. Really, some analysis I did, though, now this energy years, it didn't actually make sense. I don't know why it didn't make sense, right? But for DAX, right? Let me still show something. Sometimes if it doesn't make sense on if the time frame you're on doesn't make sense, you can see how clear, looking at this on the daily time frame, you can tell that this market is supposed to hit this zone before selling, if it's going to sell. Like, it's so clear, right? So one thing is, if any time frame you're on doesn't make sense, just drop down for it to make it. Because sometimes if you dwell, it has happened to me. You dwell on a particular time frame for a very long time, you even get to forget what the higher time frame is telling you. You get to question yourself. It happens. It does happen, right? It does happen. Really, it does happen. Okay, let's say you decided to work with a lower time frame. Like, you decided to work with this. This is a high. This is a low. Looking at these lows still, they didn't even take out these lower points. Of course, over time, we'll talk about, God help me, I'm mixing so many things on this call. Like while I speak, so many things come to my mind that I need to show you. But before the session closes, right? See, drop your questions. Drop your questions. I have like 8 minutes to attend to them. Drop your questions while I say what I want to say. Right? God help me. God help me. Right. I just want to show us something, right? Because there's an NFP release today. Another way to trade. This news that happened yesterday by all time, sir. Let's go back to. Just drop your questions, family. Drop your questions. The news that happened yesterday, 1:30, right? This is it, right? 1:30 in 15 minutes time from it was 1:30, right? This should be it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a way to trade NFPs or high impact news, right? If you, though it's a double chance, but sometimes it saves you just in case you miss the main move, right? When you miss the main move, there's a way to actually trade it on any time frame. Let's say you're looking at on the 5 minutes time frame, right? No, no questions, no questions. I'm asking. Did you even get or what we shared on the session? Did you get it? If you didn't, let me know. If you did, let me know. If you have questions, let me know before the session ends. I know I talked about so many things. I talked about so many things. Any questions? Any questions? Just drop it. Drop it. I'd like to know we are following, and also like to know if you're not following. Okay. Like to know if you're following. Also like to know if you're following. So on the 5 minutes chat, this was the news release, right? And of course, if you miss this move that very yesterday, all you need to do, right? All you need to do is to wait 4 candles, 4 candles after that release. Right now, we have this is how I trade the news. If I miss the main move, right? If I catch the main move, I can still do this. But if I do miss the main move, all I need this is the first candle, the second candle, third, and the fourth. Wherever the candle breaks off. So this is the fourth. So my focus is just here. Focus is just on this candle. If the market breaks above, boom, that's my opportunity. All I need to do is just to trade it back, of course, maybe to a clear possible area. Of course, if you trade it back here, this is going to be like a nice, this is a rejection, this is like a resistance area. Yeah. So trading into this area is quite, you can just take that profit and you're good. If you don't want to deal with this, you can target this area, right? So today's news, right? After trading it, just observe this. Check by one, the news should be like 1:30 by 1:40, right? That's 20 minutes by 1:50 rather. That's 10:50. 20 minutes after the release. Yeah. Watch the fourth candle. Wherever the market breaks, it goes. Just observe it. I'm not telling you, observe it just for today. Right. These are traded some news, FOMC, CPI, NFP, right? After the the mighty surge of the market, after the surge, after the crazy move. Just have this. Observe any trade, just observe it. Observe it. So that is it for today. Since there's no question, or do you mean you're so saturated that your mouth can't utter a word? Hmm, okay. In the absence of in the absence of no questions. In the absence of no questions. I'd love to hear something. I'd love to hear something. In fact, okay, let me ask, did you even get what we talked about this session? Did you get it? Does it make sense? Do you have anything you're gonna work on? Do you have a personal take home assignment? You have a personal take home assignment. Today's session is intermediate, so we are digging deep into certain areas. All right. Nothing. All right. Okay. Very important. Very important. It's all right, family. Today is Friday, and of course, yeah, the best way to actually do this is to take it for yourself, right? Amazing. Take it for yourself and work on it. See it for yourself. That's the best way, right? Get the confirmation for yourself. Sit down. You know, I was speaking with someone who, like, sometimes baptizing can be boring and painstaking, but then I said the best way to do that is to have a nice song playing in your headsets, your earpods, your background, and just look at it. Just look at the charts. Just watch them as they have played out and anticipate how they will play out next week. The market is over already, right? So it can only get better. It can only get better. And of course, the best is yet to come. Have the best moment, family. And of course, have a beautiful day. It's beautiful having you here once again.